Hi, good morning, everyone. It's Michelle Silverman Bedell from Silverson's Realty, and today I would like to chat about receiving multiple offers. First of all, we have to understand what goes into an offer. When an offer is presented to me, I have to have not only the price, how much people are willing to pay for the offer, but I want to know how much money they're going to put down on a contract. Typically, it's 10%, but it often varies. And if you're dealing with a co-op or a condo, they may stipulate a certain amount. Some even stipulate 20%. So one has to read the fine print of the different information from co-ops, condos, HOAs, etc. Afterwards, you have to know how much money people are financing. Is it subject to financing? Is it subject to an appraisal, which is usually built into the financing? Is it subject to an inspection, or are you going to only do it for informational purposes only? So you really have to understand what the offer is before you can compare offers if you're receiving multiple offers. Also, a closing date becomes relevant. If a seller has to close, they need a delayed closing, but the buyer needs a very quick closing because maybe they're selling another home and their lease is ending. So you have to look, when you're looking at multiple offers, you have to look at everything: the price, the terms, if there are inspections, any contingencies, meaning a mortgage contingency, an inspection contingency, as well as the closing date. So we receive multiple offers, and you also have to look at an offer that's cash, right? Or that they're financing. So we have to look at everything before we can compare offers and really understand the offers. How do we decide which is the best offer, right? We're sitting with 5, 6 offers, maybe more, and we should number them, and we should say which is the best, which seems to be the best. We have to look at all these terms before we can make a final decision. In addition, ultimately it's up to the seller, and a lot has to do with their situation. As I said before, how quickly they can move where they're moving to and what their needs are. You have to understand that. And all of this will factor in which is a better offer, not for me, but really for the seller, right? You want to make sure you're dealing with the strongest offer. Note that if there is financing involved, I strongly recommend contacting the mortgage broker or the banker to really confirm that they are well qualified, that they have all their funds available to proceed, and that the mortgage broker or banker has checked their financial status, meaning their debt, their assets, etc., and their credit score. Credit score becomes very important, especially when dealing with a co-op or condo. Even if I am not told the credit score, it's important for me to be told that they're qualified over a certain range. Okay, the other point that I wanted to make about receiving multiple offers and choosing them, I often do it. I like to do an escalation clause. Many agents are not comfortable with it and tell me off the bat that I'm not allowed to do it. I'm not sure why. I think it's because their comfort level, they just may be comfortable with it, and hence their seller may not be comfortable. The way the escalation clause will work, and the important thing about it, is the following. For instance, let's say the price is $1 million. And the way I would position it would be, depending on what the buyer can do, I am presenting an offer of $1 million or $1.2 million, $1.1 million. And with the fact that my client can go $10,000 or $20,000 above the highest presented offer, up to, and you must put a cap on it. Often I've received escalation clauses, but there's no cap. So how do I know what that buyer is really willing to offer, right? So when you're dealing with an escalation clause, it's very important that you put a cap on that escalation clause. If not, it has absolutely no meaning. So that's very important. So these are the different factors that come into play with looking at multiple offers. And again, you have to know what the buyers are offering. I always number my offers so I keep it in check. Then I review all the offers with the seller, and ultimately it's the seller's decision, not mine. So on that note, I wish everybody a nice weekend, and I hear it's going to be nice and warm this weekend in New York and hopefully elsewhere. And hopefully we're going into the spring season and spring market which means we hope to see a lot more inventory coming on the market. And until next weekend, have a great week. Be well. Bye-bye.